Hello, today we're looking at Glencoe Accelerated Math, Lesson 5.1 on ratios. That starts on page 184. And this chapter is all about ratios, rates, and proportions. So, let's start with what a ratio is, because everything else that we do in this chapter is based on ratios and the relationships between them. Anybody know, what is a ratio? It's a number, okay? What else can you tell me about a ratio? Yes?
A ratio is a comparison of two quantities by division.
A ratio of two quantities by division. Now, did that come from you or did you read from the book?
Read from the book.
You read it from the book. Great! So tell me what that means.
So like 3 to 9 would be like 3 over 9.
Okay.
And then like I can't really explain it.
Okay. Yes.
It compares like two like quantities. So basically, like if you're comparing like the teams of like basketball players, so like if there's like 9 players on one basketball team and then there's like 8 on others, so it'd be like 9 to 8.
Okay. So good. A ratio is a comparison between two things. A ratio is a comparison between two things. We could compare and create a ratio for the number of boys to girls in class. We could do it based on the number of people that had long hair compared to short hair. We could do it based on the number of people that wore closed-toed compared to open-toed shoes. We could do it comparing jeans versus not wearing jeans. We could do it based on, iPhones compared to non-iPhones. There's all kinds of things that we can take a ratio of, okay? So, there's 3 ways that we can write a ratio. The first way that we can write it is in words. So, somebody give me 2 events, 2 things that could take place. Yes?
A marathon
And?
A swim practice.
Okay. So, this is the number of people that competed in the marathon to the number of people at swim practice. All right? Now, if your coach said you can either go compete in the marathon or you can come to swim team practice today, would that make sense? Yeah. Are both working cardio?
Yeah.
Yes. So, if it's the beginning of swim season, there's a marathon to support some illness or some disease or something like that being put on in town, could a coach justifiably say you either come to swim practice or you go participate in the marathon? Yeah. Are both working on getting you in shape? Yeah. Are both going to be long and hard? Yeah. Okay. Would I die doing both of those right now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, that's how we would do it in words. Now I need 2 numbers. Yes? 12 and what?
15.
12 and 15. Alright, so we're going to say that 12 competed in the marathon and 15 went to swim practice. Okay? So we have this written in words. Now, I'm going to write it using a colon. So we have 12 to 15. That colon means comparing to. Okay? Now, the most common way that we're going to see our ratios throughout this chapter is written as a fraction. That means we have 12 to 15. Our fractions do not always need to be proper. In fact, improper fractions are going to make more sense. Can we have a mixed number if we're comparing 2 things? No, you don't know where the mixed part comes in. Okay? So they can be proper or improper fractions, but we're not going to use mixed numbers. We use these most commonly in the form of a fraction because we can work with a fraction. Can we work with things in words like this? No. Could we be given our information this way?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Could writing with a colon, could there be uses for that? Yeah. If you look up high school or college classes, or if you look up camp information, it will tell you the number of, they talk about the teacher-student ratio or the counselor-student ratio. They write it like this. Okay? They write it using that colon, because that's easier to do. Okay? So, now that we know what these ratios are, let's look at what we're going to do with them. Okay? So, example 1 tells us to express the ratio 12 baskets in 18 attempts as a fraction in simplest form. Alright, so this is example 1. First of all, how would I write that phrase? How would I write that phrase in a fraction? Which number goes as my numerator? 12 baskets in 18 attempts. Which one goes on top, the 12 or the 18?
On top?
What?
Like,
Yeah.
12 will go on top?
Yeah, the 12 goes on top. And what's my denominator?
18.
18. Did we make all of our attempts? Every time we shot the basketball, did it go in? It did? Okay, so then that would say that our fraction was simplified to 1. Did that happen? Look back at the book. It says 12 baskets in 18 attempts. So they shot the ball 18 times. They made it in the basket 12 of those times. So did they make every shot? No. Okay. So should we have a fraction that simplifies to 1 whole? No. We should have a proper fraction, correct? Do we have a proper fraction? Yeah, great. Okay. How do I simplify 12/18ths?
Divided by 2.
I can start by dividing each by 2. Okay? That will give us 6/9. Can I further simplify 6/9? I'm sorry? I can divide them both by 3. That would equal 2/3. Can I simplify 2/3? No, I cannot simplify 2/3. Alright, so what does this 2/3 mean?
She made 2 of 3 shots.
Right, that means that they made 2 out of every 3 shots. That's a pretty darn good shooting average. No? What? That's a shooting percentage of 0.66. And that's a 66% shooting average. Right, they mean the same thing. Oh, you said 15 out of 18 would have been better? You're right, that would have been better, but we don't have 15 out of 18. We have 12 out of 18. Okay? Alright, questions about what we did here? Any questions? Okay. The next thing I want us to look at is example 3 on page 185. Example 3. Someone read for me example 3, please.
You said example.
Example 3. Who can read it for me, please? Yes.
Express the ratio 8 ounces to 3 pounds as a fraction in simplest form.
Okay, so we have ounces compared to pounds, correct? Yes? Okay. Which one goes on top? Ounces. That means that pounds is on the bottom. Okay. How many ounces do we have? 8 ounces. And how many pounds? How many? 3. Okay. Is this, when we simplify it, is this going to be an improper, or is this going to turn into a mixed number?
Mixed number.
Are we?
No.
No. Ratio.
No, we're not going to do that. Okay. Now, we need to look at, and we need to put our ounces and our pounds in the same units. Okay? At this point, we need to get them all in the same units. So how many ounces are in a pound?
16.
16. Very good. All right, and what is 16 times 3?
48.
Okay? So that means we have 8 ounces over 48 ounces. Simplify. What can we divide by?
8.
Divide each by 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 48 divided by 8 is? What?
6.
Alright. So we have 1 ounce per every 6 ounces. Okay? When would we see something like this? What?
Grocery store?
Grocery store? Okay. I'm thinking of something else. What?
Where they have the canned vegetables items.
Okay.
That's what you see. And the rice.
Okay. What?
And the cheese.
So, you'd most likely see this in the form of a recipe of some kind.
Sure.
Rice has a 2-to-1 ratio. 1 cup rice, 2 cups water.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So, if you're going to go home and cook rice tonight with your dinner, to know how much rice to water you need, it's a 1-to-2 ratio. 1 cup rice to 2 cups of water. Can you half that and make half a cup of rice with 1 cup of water?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you double it and make 2 cups of rice with 4 cups of water? Yeah, absolutely. Okay? This could be something like 1 ounce of pasta per 6 ounces of sauce. Now, to me that would be a lot of sauce in my pasta, but if we're talking about dry pasta, 1 ounce of dry pasta turns into a lot of pasta. Okay? What? Right, it would be kind of smothered. Okay? So, or if you were going to make like macaroni and cheese, 1 ounce of pasta and 6 ounces of water. That makes the pasta, cook appropriately. Yes.
Do you know what the amateur one is?
The what?
Like the amateur one.
The amateur one.
It's like
Is it related to this? Okay, then let's wait and we'll talk about that later. Okay. Questions? Thank you.